Okay, welcome to video lesson 5.1. This is your first video lesson for week 5. And if you look in your student book, this is where we are at today. So we're going to be doing our positive and negative space logo art. So you need to get into your sketchbook, and we're going to open up to your home lessons, home and class lessons. And you should have a few things in here we're going to need. We're going to need this, so we'll set that to the side, and we're also going to need this sheet that we went over today, okay, and not having anything to do with the lesson, but you should also have your brand new discovery journal or art investigation and observational sketch grading sheets for your grade level, okay. So these should be in there as well if you need them. So we have our two sheets out. And let's go over what we're going to be doing. Okay, during class, we discussed some of the information about logos. So we'll review a little bit. Some of you may have a different answer for this. We talked about all of these logos and how there's hidden things in these. We said that a logo needs to be unique, and it should be reproducible or usable in different sizes and colors. And we talked about this and how this one works much better big and small, on a large scale and a small scale, than this one does, right? Because this one is very hard to distinguish what's going on with it when it's little. We also talked about how the logo should represent the organization, company, person, or idea. And for ours, it's going to be representing a person because it's going to be representing you. Okay, the logo we'll be doing today. We talked about these and how the shape of these accurately represents what the company is. We also talked about that it should speak to the target audience, and we talked about how it should be simple. And we looked at the evolution of the Apple logo and how it began as the Isaac Newton sitting underneath the tree. Then they quickly changed it over to a very much more simple icon, okay, that we know today. And we also discussed the McDonald's logo, and we also talked about the Pepsi logo and how they started out as just the words, but then eventually they changed to words plus a picture image, and then eventually they took off the words altogether to just have a picture image. So when you do your logo, you can have either just words, you can have a combination of words and an image, or you can just have a picture image. Totally up to you. So down here, this is what we're going to be looking at today. So I want you to focus in on this part, and we're going to follow these steps to create our logo. Now I'm going to go through these with you, and I want you to watch the process, and then after the video is over, you can do this on your own time. So let's start with number 1. Write down a list of attributes that accurately represent you. What is an attribute? Okay, attributes, things that are about you, that tell about you. It could be things you like. It could be things about your personality. It could be places that you enjoy, anything. And I'm going to write down a few attributes that accurately represent me. Okay, so on your own paper, if you want to use your sketchbook, you can, but if you don't have very many pages, I would suggest just getting some scrap sheet of paper to do this, okay? So I wrote down a few things that I'm serious, I like nature, I like traveling, I like art, and I like music, and I like playing the guitar. So we're going to look at some of these attributes, and then we're going to go to number 2. Can any of these be turned into an image? If so, sketch out a few of them. So, can I turn any of these into an image? This would probably be pretty hard to turn into an image. Nature, yeah, that could be a lot of things. So let's sketch out a few things for nature real quick. Okay, so I have sketched out a few of these things, a few of these images for nature. I have a leaf, a tree, some grass, a branch with some leaves, and a butterfly. So I could use some of these, but let's go ahead and sketch out some more things. Traveling. Okay, yeah, we can sketch out a few things for traveling. Let's do that now. Okay, here are a few images that I equated with traveling. I got a sign, road, vehicle, and maybe like a city or something. Now, like I said, these are just sketches. You don't need to spend a lot of time when you draw out your images, okay? So I'm going to do a few for art now. Okay, so here are a few of my images for art, okay, for my artwork. I have the paintbrush, little paint palette, an easel with a canvas on it, and a paint bucket. So let's move on. Let me do some for music. Okay, so here is a few things that I thought of for music. This is about all. That was my mess up. Okay, some musical sheet music, but kind of in like a wavy. And here's a couple of notes. So let's do the last one, guitar. Let me try that one. Okay, so here's a few of the things that I did for guitar. This is the whole guitar. I kind of focused a little bit closer on different aspects of the guitar here. So now that I have a bunch of ideas, I can look at these images and we can go to number 3. And we're going to choose images and words that could be paired together and design ways they could harmonize. So could I put words with any of these images? Preferably, I'm going to try to put my name or my last name with any of these. So I'm going to think of a few ways that I could put some words with this, and we'll see what I come up with. Okay, so I played around a little bit with putting my last name on some of these images. I can do something like this for the nature thing. Could put up and down on the tree, kind of fit in the butterfly wings. Could put it under the city, have it being painted. I couldn't think of anything with these, so that's fine. If you can't think of something, that's probably not going to be good to go with that image. I also did some bones on the strings, and then I also turned it sideways and realized this has an O in it for the hole in the guitar. So I thought that was pretty cool. And after you design some ways that they could harmonize together, remember, you don't have to put it on your image. You could just write it separately, kind of like I would be doing here, okay? Or your initials or whatever it is you want to use. We're going to pick a few sketches that you like best and try to simplify them. So I'm going to focus most of my effort on this one because I kind of like that. My name written and then have the guitar with it. So let's see what I can come up with that. Okay, so I did a lot of playing around with making my name in the middle of a guitar and a lot of stuff, and it really wasn't turning out how I wanted it to. And then suddenly I realized, well, my B kind of looks like a guitar. So I started playing around with doing it this way, and I kind of like this. I thought maybe I could do it like a chord, but I think I like this one the best. It's pretty simple. It's a lot more simpler than all this, and it still has the guitar and it has my name. So I think this is the one that I'm going to pick, and I've simplified my image pretty good. So now all that's left is for me to pick one simplified image you like best and draw it on your final page provided in your pocket tab. And you should have a paper that looks about like this. And this is where you're going to draw your final image. You can draw it this way, which that's how I would draw mine because I need it long. And this will be my final image. So I'm probably going to sketch this a few more times to make it big like this. If you would like, you can even take this and trace it on your paper. Trace it on your paper, and then you will have an image about like this that's going to allow you to draw it the same size that you would draw it on here. So go ahead and do this. Try it on here. You can use pencil. I've been using pen. And then if you get it exactly how you want it, then you can use marker or Sharpie or anything to go ahead and go over the whole image. You can make it black and white, or you can use color, whichever you would like. And then bring this page with your image on it to class next Tuesday. Okay? Great job. Bye.